Good morning, everybody. It's September, I don't know, it might even be the 18th now. I'm not sure. Anyways, you'd think I would actually look at that before I started the video, but apparently I don't, and I still don't. But anyways, D450, like the swather, but it is giving us a few issues. We're just waiting on some sensors to get ordered and a couple odds and ends. Just trying to figure out why the table is hanging low on one side. Even when you pick it up, it kind of hangs a little bit low on one side, but we're going to get that resolved. I'm not too worried about that. Other than the fact that we have some pretty green canola that needs to go down, and it's going to freeze on Wednesday, and today is Saturday. So we are trying to get this canola in the swath. So we called in some backup. So the backup is another 40-foot table. It's a W170. This is the same, not the exact same unit, but this is the W170 series of sprayer. Oh my goodness, swather. It's still morning, guys. Bear with me. That Ashtyn and I demoed last year in the barley. Now, we wanted to put it into canola, but we really didn't have any canola to put it in because it was such a poor crop, even up here at the North Farm last year. So it's a beautiful, foggy, damp, wet morning here this morning, as you can clearly see. And that is awesome for swathing canola because we'll shell less out. It's not a matter of if we're going to shell some out when we're swathing. It's just a matter of how much we might shell out while we're swathing. And I know this isn't a bigger canola, which does, you know, hold together really well. But if it dries out, and since it's getting a little bit on the riper side on some of the hilltops and so on and so forth, you can shell some out. So let's get cracking at this, shall we? As soon as Mike figures out how he's going to cross this swath, I guess we're just going to go for it. Now, this particular unit is a 2020 model and has about 250 hours on, so it's basically still brand new. We're gonna let this thing warm up here, drink some coffee. Obviously a lot bigger cab than the D450. So pretty happy about that. Buddy seat that folds down. This thing will swivel around so you can actually go backwards or forwards or however you want to call it for transport. We need some windshield wipers here. Oh, aggressive. There we go. All right then. And then we need one on the back. All right. Little Dewey. This is awesome. Perfect. This thing just got dropped off last night. Let's turn our heated seats on. Beauty. All right. Now we're just going to wait for this thing to warm up. You know, for whatever reason, I cannot get this auto steer to work. As you can see, we only have one piece of the pie. We should have at least two now. And then once you activate this, wherever it might be, you get the third one. And you get the fourth one when you hit the engage button. But we definitely don't have enough pie yet. Yet we have all of our field clients, all that fun stuff. We even have a line made. Playing around in this thing for a long time. So we're gonna call the dealership here, and we have a tech coming out, I believe, for the D450 here today. So maybe they can come out and take a look at this at the exact same time. Well, it looks like we're going old school here. Just driving this thing. So this canola is on the riper side, except you can still see green in it here, and then the green in all the low spots. And though I'm not worried as much about frost about that, though I really don't want anything to really freeze. I don't think it's going to hurt that too bad, but I want to get going. And you can see all these beaver dams or whatever you want to call them, having a lot of trouble even with this swather there last night. Whoop, 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 trying to do this, and whoa, easy there. I kept actually plugging my rotor shears last night. See how it's just laid right over? Just laid flat in here, this green stuff. See, I want to actually get going with harvest is where I'm trying to go with this. So this stuff needs to die. It needs to just die now. Okay, we're gonna switch this line. Here we go. I'm not going very fast. I'm only doing about 2 to 3 miles an hour out here. Any faster than that, I plug my swather. We don't really want to be plugging the swather any more than we've already done about 3,000 times. It's going to be real fun combining these swaths because I had a lot of trouble getting it out. The D450 is not swathing well, and I'm still having a lot of trouble getting it out the W170. I'm thinking the common denominator is a combination of two things. One is a 40-foot table. I don't think I would go back to a 40-foot table. And two is the canola is getting a little bit on the riper side, which means it's harder to put through. It gets a little fluffier. But that being said, here, let's just stop for a second here and talk for a minute. That being said, this stuff needs to die. It's nice and wet out here, which is good. Look at this mess. What a friggin' mess. Oh, also when I fungicided this stuff and put down micros, these are my sprayer tracks. Yes, I had crop dividers on, but the canola just laid flat. I just moved it and then it just fell over. So it's all my sprayer tracks are greener than the rest of the crop, and that happens. Even in cereals, I had lots of little green wheats and stuff in the tracks. But the canola all went down in my tracks, and it's making it a little harder because, heck, I would actually like to be able to get that as well. See, look, I actually just plugged this one. Never plugged rotor shears. Of course, I never had rotor shears to plug. But when you plug your rotor shear, it runs off the same hydraulics as your reel, which stops your reel. So, yes, you'd be like, oh, Mike, just leave that. You can cut that in a few days. Oh, no, you're not cutting that. It looks pretty ripe up here. But down under here, all these green pods are a long ways off. It's going to freeze here pretty dang soon. And we got to get harvest going. Yes, we could just spray it. We could spray it. I have thought about that. I was actually going to spray a field or two, just for comparison reasons. But if it's anything like when I sprayed the wheat, if I would have swathed the wheat, I would have had it off the ground quicker. Obviously, you need to make sure you have a window in which you can do that, like no rain coming, because you don't want rain coming if you're going to swath down cereals. If you want to swath down canola, it rains, it's actually to your benefit. It helps rot the straw up a little bit. So yeah. Again, here's some more sprayer tracks. And this would have been, you know, when it was flowering. You can see them. And it's just laid flat on the ground. Flat on the ground. And that's every 120 feet. And every slough that I went around. So they're all over the place. But this is a long ways away from coming in naturally. This is probably still 2 weeks away from spraying it. It may be longer, depending on what you use. But if you swath it and put it into a swath, well, that's the quickest. It literally kills it, and it'll start coming in. So that's why, look at all these gigantic, I know. That was with the W170 last night. You can tell because that first swath is rolled over there. The D450 has a roller. Why won't this thing focus? Hey, focus. Guess it's not going to focus. And in that swath, there's no roller, so it's way fluffier. What's the difference between a rolled swath and an unrolled swath? Well, they're fluffier, so they can blow easier. At least that's what I'm told. Also, we should probably talk about swaths that are blowing. or prone to blow. So that's the downside to swathing canola is if you get a really big wind, you could be chasing swaths. So that's why a lot of guys prefer to just spray their canola, because they know that, you know what, it's not going to go anywhere, right? It's not going to go anywhere. But I think there's a place for both. I think it's a good idea to spray some, straight cut some, which I am going to do. I'm going to straight cut some. I'm not necessarily going to spray it, but I got some stuff that is literally coming in naturally on by itself. And then I think it's a good idea to use swathers as a tool to speed things up if need be. So back home, we've grown canola for a few years, and we actually had, like I said, D450. There's a frog. There's lots of these little guys. Anyways, and we swathed it, and back home we're very prone to winds, and it all blew away. So yes, I have lost canola crops because they've blown away before. That is a thing. Up here there's a little bit less wind, so try and, you know, I'm no swathing expert by any means, and I never proclaimed to be, but try and swath your rows into the prevailing winds. It's a lot harder to get a swath rolling this way than it would be to roll that way. Make sense? Makes sense. Yeah, you guys got that. So we'll see if we can do a little more videoing here while we're swathing. It's just super hard for me to do because I need to be running my header and I need to steer, since we don't have auto steer yet. So yeah. So this is what we're doing. Taking out some green canola. So this is maybe green, and some of this stuff on the hilltops will maybe a little ripe, and maybe the stuff on the hilltops a little fluffy, doesn't want to go through. I'm sure it's kind of a little combination of everything, but this would be another track, right? Yeah, as I said. So you got to freaking put this swather right down on the ground to pick this stuff up, and that's a lot of product to shove through. It's one thing to leave a bunch of stubble, way easier to put through, but if you got to actually cut right on the ground, oh man, that's pretty hard to do. I should unplug this. Wow. Okay. If I can't do a better job here pretty soon, then we might just leave it, because it's going to be a disaster out here trying to pick this stuff up. We're really going to see how that X9 takes some canola watts. But it is what it is. Let's see what we can do here. You'll never plug it on the end. You plug it right here, right where the swath gets the thickest, where it has to shove it through. Right on the ground, we're cutting it. Mile an hour. Yes, I can go a little faster than that, but not when I'm recording. See if you can see those shears working over there. It's so funny. All of a sudden you'll see a canola branch go flying in the air. Some pods. It does shell out where it's shearing. And you'll know when you plug it, because like when you plug your shear, because your reel will stop. And then your PSI over here for your reel just jumps way past the red, and it's beeping at you. All that fun stuff. Oh yeah. Oh, we missed some. Oh, see, it's flying. There's some stuff flying over there. Oh. not doing a very good job here freehanding here. It's been a long time. Okay, yeah, you can stop beeping now. Okay. So Mike, if it's 2+ weeks or whatever to spray it, well, it, again, depends on what chemical you're using. If you want to throw some heat in there and really warm it up, or, you know, some guys will say they can get out there in 10 days. Some guys say they can get out there in 2 weeks. Also, completely depends on your weather. Are you going to have 30-degree weather? You're going to have rain with 5-degree weather? You're going to have frost and cold? There's so many variables, guys. It's not the same everywhere. But with that being said, in this particular area with the weather cold forecast that we have coming, it will be quicker to swath this stuff down and pick it back up versus spray it and wait for it to come in naturally, or for the chemical, I should say, to dry it down. I gotta pay attention here. Swather. So that's why we're doing that. It's what, middle of September? Past the middle of September? Say we can maybe get out here in a week, 10 days. Start combining 1st of October. Yeah, I want to get going by 1st of October, you guys. I don't want to have to wait till the middle of October. Oh man, look at this. That is impressive. That's impressive. Hydraulics are really fast on this bad boy. I guess we're going over it. Also, swathability of canola also can depend, oh, easy there, Mike, on what variety of canola you've grown. Even in the Invigor family, which this is I think 345, L345, and I think it's 345. Well, now I can't remember, but anyways, some are harder to swath, some are more prone to laying down, and when it's all laid over like that, it is harder to swath, so on and so forth. But let's see if we go a little faster here, if I can. Whoa, no, I can't do it. I can't do everything that fast. Everyone calm down here, just calm down. Sorry guys, hope you can appreciate this. I'm just trying to run my reel and my header and everything, and steer and record. Must be plugging up a shear because my pressure on the top there is on that reel is really building. It's gonna hit the red. There's got to be some restriction on that shear. Oh yeah, well it's dragging half the crop over there. Mike, focus, buddy. Okay, I gotta let you go. We just plugged it. Don't worry, you just gotta back up, but it makes a mess, and I don't like doing it. It frustrates me a lot. I tried to go about 3.3, and the header said no. Oh, I didn't quite get it all. Shoot. Gotta get it off that cutter bar. Like that. Get off of there. Get off of there. Make me get out and reverse this thing. There we go. Oh, we just plugged our shear. When you plug your shear, your reel stops. I have to get out here. I guess it goes away when I, all right. I guess we should put the table down. Stand on the swat there a little bit. Ah! Isn't Swathing great? Oh, man. I'm only doing this because I just want to get combining. Sprayer track. Holy smokers! Wow! Okay, Mr. Shear. And I don't mean Andrew Shear. What the heck? I don't know anything about shears, but it's going as fast as it will go. Like, the thing only has like 150 or 70 actual header hours. Like, it's got nothing on it. I'm just gonna use my foot here. I don't want to cut my fingers up. There it is. Just push it backwards. Look at that canola. Well, it shells out here when it's going. I don't know if I would order shears. Just saying. What do I know? Obviously, when it's drier and not water dripping off your reel, it will go through better. Everything cuts better, but you also shell a whole heck of a lot more out. So, especially when it's riper. When you go through the green spots, no, you're not going to shell that out. But on the riper hilltops, you will. Mike, how come you weren't out here earlier? Ah, very good question. Very good question, actually. It's because we were sitting in an X9 combine trying to get our hard red spring wheat in the bin before this week, 10 days of wet, rainy weather comes and downgrades all of our quality. Excuse me. Which we did do. We literally finished up Ashtyn's quarter. Remember, she was on the combine there the night before it rained. It rained that night. And all of our wheat is sitting at a number 1 in the bin. That's perfect. So that takes higher priority than probably coming out here a few days earlier and start swathing. But, well, it is what it is. That's farming. That's farming, guys. So I'm going to catch you on the flip side. I have carried on and tarried on long enough. I'm going to go plug some shears and plug some swathers and try not to drive into a slough without my auto steer, and we're going to go have some fun. Actually, it's swathing. It's going to get better as the dew wears off here a little bit. But okay, guys, you have yourself a good one, and I look forward to straight cutting some canola, because I will be straight cutting canola, and I will be also picking up canola. So we're going to get to see some of the differences. I'm a little bit, also I want to talk about, I'm a little hesitant to just leave everything stand as well, because yes, I do have that X9 with a 50-foot head up here, and when we were back home in mustard, the honeybees performed better in the mustard. There's a lot of header there, and I don't know if John Deere's header is deep enough. I've mentioned that before. I feel like it's not deep enough. That gigantic 20-some inch, whatever they have for a pea auger on that thing, takes up a lot of room as well. So I don't want to just leave a whole pile of canola standing and realize that maybe that header isn't the number 1 perfect thing for cutting straight cut canola up here, and if you're in a heavier crop. So I would rather leave a few fields, and then I know that I can always pick up canola, no big deal. So that's another reason why we want to lay some down. So there's lots of reasons. This is more of a trial year. We want to try different things and kind of see for the future. You know, is spraying the best way? Is not naturally won't be probably the best way up here, and or swathing. You know, and I think kind of a combination between all of them, to be honest with you. But we'll find that out as harvest continues, and we get to start picking the swabs and straight cutting canola. So you guys hang in there. It's going to be a wild ride. Yes. All right. Adios, amigos. Have yourself a really good one.